you see this thing? This rusty, old, discarded metal cross. I told this story that I'm going to share with you a couple days ago on the Everyday Outreach YouTube Bible Devotion Study community group. I guess you could call it an online church. Told this story a few days ago, and I am convinced that if you allow it, God can work in you with this story, this account. Sorry about the sheep. He gets excited when I'm hanging out. He thinks he's getting treats. So, this rusty, banged up, misshapen cross. I got this thing when I was doing a missionary trip in Haiti a couple years ago. I was actually in a group that was refurbishing houses, putting roofs on houses, putting new electric in houses. And by house, I don't mean house like you and I think house. I mean that if you stuck your hand out this way and you stuck your hand out that way, you would be touching each side of the house. And then if you turned your body the other way, it would be maybe about that twice as much lengthwise, except there would be 4 or 5 people living in that house. And there's storms that go through a lot, and so there's a lot of damage that happens a lot. And those are the lucky people. Believe it or not, there's still people living in tents all over from that nasty, nasty hurricane over a decade ago. 20 years, I think. Geez, I can't even remember. But these people were the lucky ones with this house, right? And we were there, and my job at the time was sweeping and cleaning and just getting rid of rubble that had piled up because of the latest storm. And this thing caught my eye. It was discarded. There was a bunch of other shards of metal here and there and different broken glass and kids playing in it. And it was just bad. So we were getting all these things out of there that could possibly hurt somebody or, just get rid of the junk. And I stuck this in my pocket because I just started thinking, I don't know what it is about this rusty old bent up cross that just drew me to it. And then I found out later that God had a story to tell me, and this is a reminder. You see, here's the thing. This piece of metal came from a 55-gallon metal drum from the ships, the shipping, containers loaded with different materials. And this was a 55-gallon metal drum. And what the Haitians do is they will actually take those drums, cut them apart with whatever tool they can find or fashion. They'll bang them with rocks and flat pieces of metal and anything they can find into these sheets. They'll cut them and bang them out into these flat sheets. They were standing and jumping on them and jumping on them. I saw kids, that's what they were doing, just jump, jump, jump. They were flattening them out. And then if they were lucky, they could find a screwdriver or something that had a harder metal tip, and they would cut them. They would chisel different shapes out of them, and then they would make them into pieces of artwork that they could sell to visitors like me, a missionary. And they would take that discarded piece of junk metal that was not the right, anything. They would take the wrong material with the wrong tools, with the wrong everything, and then they would take that and make something like this. Take a look at that. Do you see the detail? I hope the camera's picking it up. You see how they would hammer and ding each one of those little rivets, and they would cut this stuff by hand or with tools that were not the right tools, the unlikely tools, and they would take something like this and they would sell something like this for $20. And they were happy to get it. They were super excited to get the $20 because for you and me, $20 is just $20. But for them, $20 can feed your family for a week if you're smart. So I got to thinking about this busted old metal cross, this rusty thing that I found and stuck in my pocket. And then I was remembering how they will take something like that and make just the most amazing, beautiful artwork out of that. And I thought, boy, isn't that just like us? How many of you feel like this? But God sees you as the finished, beautiful work, completed and loved in Him. Let me tell you what. God can take something that seems like the unlikely material, the unlikely tools, the unlikely craftsman, and mold it and shape it lovingly and carefully into something amazing. And I'm here to tell you, folks, that's you. That's me. Mistakes and screw-ups and all the things that I do that are not the world's greatest, and He can forgive those things. And He has. And you know what else? He can take this and mold it and shape it into something like that, or better, or beyond anything I can think or dream or imagine. Because you know what? He straight up loves you. And I'm not talking about like the love of an earthly person, because guess what, folks? Earthly people, we make mistakes. We fall, we fail, we mess up, but our Father in heaven is perfect. He's not the kind of father that will shove you away or do something horrible or all the stuff that humans do. He's not. He will never leave you, and He will never forsake you. Period. End of story. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. He doesn't see you like you see you with all the faults and failures and warts. He sees you as the completed, perfected picture. If you trust in Him, if you receive Christ, then guess what? You're a new creation. You're in the family. Everything that was is gone. And He doesn't see you as the material that He started with. He sees you as the beautiful created piece of art that He has made you into being. Now, ladies and gents, I know there's a lot of you guys out there who maybe you're stuck in a situation you don't really like and you feel insignificant, or you feel like you're stuck in sin, or you feel like you're just stuck. Please remember this, that the God who made the heavens and the earth and everything in it made you too. And He loves you. And He's never going to leave you, and He will never forsake you. If you want to know more about this God, I do a Bible devotion on Everyday Outreach. It's the YouTube channel, Everyday Outreach, and there's also a .com. There's forums there for you to go and chat with people who are there to pray for you. We're not here to take anything. People just want to build community. We want to be a part of something that God is building. And that's happening. Apparently the sheep's very excited about it too. Ladies and gents, He loves you. Have an awesome and blessed day, okay? Bye. And you see, look at you over there. Look at this guy. Did you not get enough screen time? Okay, Mr. DeMille. I know, I'm ready for my close-up. I got it. Whoa, and there's other Buddy, Buddy Senior and Buddy Junior.